What's going on, everybody? I'm Eating Things, and you're watching Less Than Rhetorical. And today we are on the map of Coastline, and we are talking about some Rainbow Six Siege basics. So I'm just going to talk for a minute about the basics of Rainbow Six Siege, the goals that are involved, and then how to achieve some of those goals. So we're going to start with the attacking side. So on a previous video, I talked about there's 4 goals as an attacker. One is to secure map control. So like, for example, if I want to attack here, and my objective is, which is another goal, by the way, to plant the diffuser here, then I really don't want to be flanked by somebody coming through here at the time that I'm looking to plant the diffuser. And so I want this map control. Now I could do this with putting someone on the roof and looking down. I could send a bunch of gridlocks here. I could put claymores at the door over there. I could go ahead and enter from top white here and secure this map control this way. There's a number of different ways that I could ensure that map area is my area for this time being. The other piece of map control that I need is Aqua, this area I'm standing in right now. And so I need to secure map control. Now, securing map control often involves gaining information. So is there somebody back here or not? Well, it'd be great if I had a drone that I could drone in and see whether they're there or not. That's why your drones are so important, and you have to keep them alive during the prep phase. Another great thing with another thing that's required in gaining map control
Your location has been
is
compromised.
cutting off rotations. So I know if somebody's back here, there's only 2 ways they can get out of this room. One is through luggage, this way. The other is through this door here. Both of which I can cut off with one person on this window right here. So a teammate on this window here now cuts off the rotation of this individual. Now they could pop a hatch and drop down below and run away. In which case, I've got this map control. Let's just imagine that hatch isn't there for a second. If I'm here and my teammate's on that window there setting up a crossfire with me, then I know that person's stuck there. They can't move. With the teammate on that window, I can now rotate around. I can rotate above. I could go to another side of the map. Somewhere that person is not, and then plant the diffuser over there. Or if I really needed this map control here, with the information, someone watching my drone, I could come in and kill this person this way. Or I could make it difficult for them by going beneath and starting to open up the floor below them to make them panic so that they want to move. That's probably the best move, is opening up the floor beneath them so that now, I want to move. And now they may want to move to this cover right here, especially if this door is open. So they are probably going to be most concerned with this, all the while their back is turned to my teammate who's just sitting on this passive angle here waiting for them to walk into their view. So cutting off angles, that's a way, or cutting off rotations rather, is a great way that as a team you can create pressure and move the person out of their location. Like I create the pressure with buck from below, that forces the movement, the cutoff gets me the kill, and that clears the area, and now I have map control. And that's what we're looking to do. Another situation in which you might gain map control is, let's say I come to this door and I open this door and I drone in and no one is contesting this. All 5 players are on this side of the map looking at blue stairs, looking at VIP, looking at the hookah door, and suddenly I know there's a gap in the defense. There's no utility over here and there's no one contesting it. I need to aggressively As soon as I've determined there's no utility and there's no one guarding this, I need to aggressively take this map control and start pushing in and push up to here. And the reason being is because at this point, I've surprised the defense because there's a chink in the armor and I'm going to take advantage of it. And while they're worried about something else, I've got a flank. Or I could, come in and if my teammate's on this window, I could get a plant down. So that's just some basics of securing map control. Your second objective is to have at least 1/2 of site control. So I want control of this half of the site in order to plant over here. So I can do that with hard breach. Notice I've already pre-shot out the walls here. Imagine that I sent Ace up here and I threw 1 Selma, 2 Selmas, 3 Selmas. And I've opened up this wall. You might say, well, Tim, what if they electrified it? Well, maybe I put Thatcher above and drop an EMP on the top of the roof right here. That will actually take out the electrification of all 3 walls. So you don't have to really worry about that. 1, 2, 3. This is opened up now. And now, what does that do for me? Well, it helps me gain map control by this ghost pressure. Now, I could play Ace up here and it puts actual pressure on them. But Ace could also rotate around and play Aqua Balk. I could be Ace. But as a defender, I don't want to sit here. Because I can get shot from up here. I can get shot from up here. And now I'm having to focus my attention on all these angles on this side of the map. Meanwhile, the attackers are gaining control of Aqua and able to get in here without worry of someone coming over here and swinging and being a problem. So you don't have to worry about that. And someone who's a defender that's over here at playing Vase, they might push forward and realize, oh, this is all opened up, never mind, and pull back and try to hold an angle from here. So it becomes much more difficult to deny plant when that wall is open. Another reason why you always want to reinforce this wall right here in this site, it gives you more options to deny the plant. So now I've limited where the attackers can be on this side of the map. And all I have to do now is cut off their rotations. So here's a rotate, and here's a rotate. I could put someone up on the roof to cut off this rotation. I could put someone on this window right here to cut off that rotation. If I play this window, now I can't, this alibi can't rotate here. And suddenly, by doing that, I have 1/2 site of map control. Now, here's where everybody goes wrong. What I need to do is just come in, use my utility. This is objective number 3, plant the diffuser. Okay? Objective number 2, secure, let me just go through these again. Secure map control is number 1. Number 2, secure half of the site control. That involves like breaching, droning the site. I would drone right after breaching always. That's a habit that you just need to build. Find the gaps in the defense, in the defensive setup, and exploit them. Objective number 3, plant the diffuser. This is where people go wrong. Once you've got half of site control, for some reason, people do this all the time. Objective number 3, I'm going to push in and look for my frags. I'm going to see where are people? Where can I get some kills? And they start pushing in, and they'll push into the other site and get killed from an angle of someone holding a cutoff that they didn't see. This happens all the time in ranked. I see it all the time. People get aggressive, they start pushing, and they just fail to they fail to observe the signs. They don't follow the pattern. They don't plant the diffuser. The goal is plant the diffuser, not get kills. However, sometimes if you're at a man disadvantage, planting the diffuser is not the right thing to do. Because if you're at man disadvantage and you plant the diffuser, they can send 2-on-1 at you. The defense can send 2-on-1 at you and eventually clear you out. Unless you're just in this amazing position and there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. In which case, go ahead and plant the diffuser. But when you're in a man disadvantage, very often you will lose the post plant. And that's why you want to be in a man advantage before planting the diffuser. But as you think about planting the diffuser, there's a lot of things that have to go through your head, not just man advantage. You have to think about, okay, how many C4s are on the board, right? If there's a pulse still on the board, he might be below. Have we cleared him? If there's a Solus on the board, she might be below. If I've got my teammates, and you always want to do this, before you plant the diffuser, if you're in charge of playing the diffuser, look around. See where your teammates are. See where your teammate outlines are. If you can see your teammates, and I've got one on this window, I've got one on here on this balcony. Maybe I've got one lurking way over there, like lost. But maybe I've got one who's over here, who's cutting off the rotate. He's on the window. Okay, I know that I'm safe to come up here because my teammate's over here in the hallway. My teammate's over here cutting off the window. There's a reinforcement here. My teammate's here cutting off the window, cutting off anybody from the hallway. My teammate's out here cutting off anybody from behind me. I can plant here, and I don't care about Solus because I'm planting safely on the pool table. But you have to kind of think about how can the defense deny the plant? You just kind of have to check what angles your team is holding and decide whether or not it's safe to plant. Am I safe? You know, that's another thing is pick a location that's safe. I can't just pick this location here if nobody's on this window because then somebody might be behind this wall and might just swing out on either side of me and shoot me and I'm dead. I can't pick this part of the pool table here because somebody could be holding base. They could swing me and see me through these holes and I'm dead. So I have to pick spots that are safe and defendable in the post plant. If I pick this position right here and I plant the diffuser here, it's kind of an off angle. An off angle means, or an off plant angle is somewhere that's not common. A much more common spot is here. But if I pick here and I plant here and this wall is reinforced, then this window may be a problem and that door may be a problem, but as soon as the defender sneaks by here, as long as there's no attacker playing here, the defender can be safe from both those locations behind a reinforced wall and defuse the plant. So that plant would not be an advisable position to plant right here. Even though it might seem like it's a good position, but if the defense gets past your cutoffs, the attack now has to hop in and take unfavorable gunfights as this individual defuses the bomb. So this is a much more common plant spot. So you have to choose, where am I safe to plant? Where's the best spot to plant to set us up for a good post plant? And then the final aspect of this third phase of plant the diffuser is choosing when to plant, like off of a flashbang or off of a teammate grenade or off of let's say it's off of a kill or off of the push. Like let's say all of my team is pushing through and they're pushing into site. Okay, maybe I just go ahead and plant on this side of the site because it's not going to be noticed. There's a couple of different things you can do to prevent the notice of the plant, but you know the goal is you don't just start planting where everybody can hear you. You would first of all try to cover the sound somehow. Maybe throw a smoke grenade. Smoke grenades are great at baiting out C4s as well. So those are just some aspects of planting the diffuser to think about. And then the fourth and final phase of the attack round is post-plant. And I've already kind of talked about it when I was talking about here. But post plant is when you have the diffuser in a spot where you can defend it. Now you are the defense. So I don't have to peek anymore. I'm not going to hold an aggressive angle like this. I'm going to hold a passive angle like this. I might watch my back, here. But I do not have to peek. I have to, now it's the defense's job to come and attack me or to try to defuse the diffuser. And as long as I keep myself safe and play a passive role, not peeking, then as soon as they get on the diffuser, I can swing and I can kill them. Now, the detriment to this, potential detriment to this, if you're at a man disadvantage, is they can cover someone who's on the diffuser with multiple people. And now, no matter where you swing from, those people have the advantage of killing you because they're in spots that you don't know where they're at. You could use a drone and try to help yourself with that. But, you could be shot if they have superior numbers. It's just possible you'll lose the post plan. So that's it for the attacking side. That's the situation. There are situations in the attacking side where maybe because of time, because of diffuser location, maybe somebody died with the diffuser on the other side of the map, because of man count, it's better to go for the kills than to actually go for the plant. But you start each round as an attacker with these 4 goals. 1, secure map control. 2, secure 1/2 of the site. 3, plant the diffuser. And 4, play the post plant. As the defender, you have the opposite goals. So as a defender, my goal is to deny map control. So if I think the attack is coming from the Aqua side, I might come over here and put a roamer on top white. Because now I can contest luggage, and I can contest the Aqua door, and I can contest the Aqua Balk. And I'm denying the control that the attackers need in order to create in order to successfully accomplish their plan. I would need to recognize where this push is coming from, and maybe this is highly underrated. Maybe you can, as a defender, even rotate your utility to help you protect against the push. Like, let's say I've got prox alarms on one side of the map. Maybe I pick one up and throw it on the other to help me know that they're coming from that direction, because I've checked cams and I know they're not coming from the side that I had my prox alarm on to begin with. So as a defender, my goal is to, first of all, deny map control. I want to destroy as many attacker utility as I can, attacker information tools. So like drones, I can shoot these drones and then fall back. Maybe I start, I personally don't like to play back here. This is like a Hail Mary play in my opinion, because there's a drone hole here you can get grenaded from. People can toss catapults right on top of you. You can't run away without getting shot from multiple windows. I don't like it. But in luggage, this is a much safer position. You've got this window to worry about maybe, but if you position yourself correctly, you don't have to worry so much about that window. And, there's the roof, but the addition of this in Coastline was great because it protects you from the roof. You can also put castle barricades here if you really wanted to. But you could play luggage, you could play aggressive like this, you could play passive back here. Remember, they have to come to you. You do not have to go to them. So, as a defender, I don't have to peek. I don't have to do this. I could just sit here and I could wait. Or I could sit here, even better, and wait. I'm not peeking where I can be seen, and I'm in a position where you know, my angle is one that's really tough for any of the attackers to get. You know, they have to expose themselves to other angles in order to turn and pre-fire me. So this is a tough spot. It's an aggressive angle, but it's tough for the attacking team to be in. Or I could just hold passive and rely on my utility to give me the information I need to know when to swing. I could rely on this camera. As a defender, the clock is on my side. So I want to slow down the attack. Maybe I roam over here in theater and I shoot drones and I pull back. And I just slow down the attack over and over and over again until they've run out of just enough time that they don't have time to deal with all the Goyo canisters, the shields, and all the other utility that we've set up around the base in order to gain enough control to successfully plant the bomb. My second goal should be, well, I kind of said it, play passive. This won't always work. So first goal, right? First goal is deny map control. Second goal is playing passive. And what I mean by that is I don't have to peek. All right? I don't have to peek as a defender. I wouldn't necessarily hold here. Maybe I hold here because I don't want to be exposed. Maybe I put a Kifa barrier here and here to protect me. But I don't have to peek. All right? And the reason why I say play passive is because if the attackers know the map very well, they can pre-fire common angles and take your head off right away. Now, I say this won't always work because sometimes you need to get aggressive. If you're down man count, then you may need to get out and get aggressive and go find some picks. But for the most part, the attack has to come to you. Your goal should be to play passive and not peek. And your third and final goal should be use your utility to, I said final. Let me take that back. Third goal, use your utility to force attackers into areas unfavorable for them to win gunfights. Utility is what gives you the advantage. So when you're setting up sight, anticipate your weak points and then set it up with that in mind. Make sure there's sound cues on the stairs, for example, so that if an attacker tries to push up these stairs, I can hear them. So maybe I throw a prox alarm right here. I've opened up this space here, so now I can hold angles and prevent someone from hopping in this window. I've reinforced these walls here so that I can prevent somebody from coming through here. I've utilized a Kifa barrier here so that I can hold this angle here. And I can prevent the plant. You know, these are the different things that you have to think about. Anticipate your weak spots and make sure you have sound cues on common entry points, beepers, barbed wire, go-go canisters, or vault cams, you know, around the site, castle barricades. But set up your utility to force attackers into unfavorable areas. So maybe now the attack has to come from this hallway because I've set it up so that maybe they can't come through Aqua. And now coming through this hallway, it's less favorable for the attackers to be able to win gunfights from, you know, this angle and that angle and, you know, this angle back here. And, you know, maybe if I've opened this up, maybe this angle, whatever the case might be. I'm forcing the attackers into unfavorable areas by either my roamers, my utility, whatever I have, right? And then my final goal is deny the plant using either C4 or solo Goyo canisters or Solus or Pulse from below, but preventing the attackers to getting the plant down. Those are your goals as a defender, and time is on your side. So let's talk about angles for the last minute of this video here. I talked about a common angle before. Let me talk about an off angle. So the reason I opened up some of these things is because now I can hold an angle that's an off angle. An off angle is not a common angle. So if you think about how am I going to clear this from here as an attacker, one, I'm going to look at the rotate because I know someone usually plays the rotate. Next, I'm going to look at the bomb chassis because I know someone usually uses the bomb chassis. I might look at this bomb chassis to see if they're behind there. I might look here. Oh, there's a guy there, right? And I was kind of swinging here. That's what's considered an off angle because I was swinging to look here. So that person might have the advantage on that gunfight. You might also hold an angle like laying down right down here, and that'd be an off angle to give you an advantage on the gunfight. So these are just some tips of Siege basics in how to attack and how to defend. Hopefully that helps you out in your gameplay. And yeah, catch me next time. Watch some of my other YouTube videos online, and thank you very much for watching.